Deputy Minister for Employment and Labour, Boitumelo is going to conclude inspections now on labour law compliance at workplaces and looking at the trucking industry. That's in Potchefstroom in the northwest. The operation switched attention to the road freight sector, where 4 undocumented foreign nationals were arrested at a roadblock along the busy N12 route yesterday. Those arrests followed those of 7 other people arrested on Wednesday at a company in the area. Our reporter Refiloe is in Potchefstroom. And Refiloe, tell us more about the objectives then of this inspection drive and what more has been uncovered.
Well, that is an Operation Tembekile, a joint blitz that is being led by the Department of Employment and Labour together with the Transport and Home Affairs and the South African Police Services here in Potchefstroom in the northwest. And as you rightfully said, that so far there are 4 undocumented foreign officials, rather foreign undocumented residents that are arrested on Wednesday. That was at the Chubby Cheeks factory, which the inspection was going on. And yesterday, which is Thursday, there were 7 other undocumented that were arrested. And currently we are joined by Inspector General Egi Muilwa. They have just concluded their inspection here at Tiger Brands, which is the manufacturing sector that they have focused on today. And she's going to tell us more about what is it that they have been able to establish since that beginning of the inspections. Muilwa, welcome to Newzroom Afrika, and thank you so much for your time. The inspections, what is it that you guys have been able to establish so far?
Well, as you rightfully said, we started on Monday the 18th. So far we've done about 173 workplaces. We're still busy as of today. So we found that the compliance levels are not bad. We're talking 32% non-compliance and 68% compliance. And in terms of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, the areas of non-compliance will be around instances where you find that workers are not provided with a contract of work, they're not given pay slips. And when you don't have that, you can't determine working hours, you can't determine whether or not they're paid in the way they should. So we find also isolated cases where there's been non-compliance with the national minimum wage. So there was an underpayment. In each instance where we pick up non-compliance, we issue out notices. So one peculiar issue that is emerging is that in the space of occupational health and safety, more emphasis seems to be placed on the safety aspects rather than the health aspect. And the safety aspects mostly would focus on machinery and machinery-related injuries. However, when we look at the health aspect, those are stressors that deal or affect human beings directly. We're talking your heat levels, the noise, the dust, and so on. So a pattern that seems to be emerging is that more emphasis is placed on safety rather than health. So, like I said, in each instance, we issue out notices.
And as you are doing your inspections, what is it in particular that you are looking for, rather, and that needs to be paid attention to, especially by the employers?
It depends on the law that we're enforcing. If we're talking occupational health and safety, we've got about 22 to 23 regulations. So in that space, our inspectors will go in to test the level of compliance. For instance, in the health and safety space, you've got your general administrative regulations, your general safety regulation, electrical installations, ergonomics, and so on. And what is interesting with the mega blitzes that you're conducting, and I need to say that this is province number 7. We started with the Eastern Cape in 2021. We've brought in senior specialists and specialists from head office. So it's quite intensive, the level of work that goes into the whole space of testing. So basically what we do, we look at whether there's a risk assessment that is in place, and we just check documents. So part of the work that we do is quite administrative intensive.
And maybe just touching on, you say that you check on documents, and we've seen that within the inspections there have been arrests that have been made of undocumented residents, right? Let's talk about issue of truck drivers. We've seen that incidents previously of the protest that happens of truck drivers. How is that being addressed?
The bone of contention with truck drivers is that there seems to be more foreign truck drivers that are being employed at the expense of nationals of the country. And like they rightfully expressed, that truck driving is not a rare skill. And as I know that people will be following up developments in that area. So that is the main issue. So like you said earlier on, when we have mega blitzes, we've got a coordinated approach. So each department will then focus in their area of jurisdiction. Like for instance, we did an RFL sector, the road freight and logistics. We did yesterday, we did a roadblock. So the Department of Transport was looking at the validity of what you call driver's licenses and so on. And then the police were looking at unbecoming behavior that in their own definition they will then classify as criminal. Home Affairs were looking at the legality of people that were driving through, whether or not they're documented or not. And then we were looking just at unemployment insurance in terms of compliance.
Thank you so much for your time. Tembekile, that is Inspector General Eke Imuilwa, and she has just concluded that to say today it is their last day of inspection, and that she did say that those that have been arrested in that operation that happened in the past week, they'll be appearing in the Potchefstroom Magistrate Court in the date that will be soon to be announced.